everyone, I'm Kaxi. Welcome once again to another episode of Let's Get Soroban. So, for today's episode, we're talking about constructor. Constructor has special functions that are only called when called or executed once, and it's being called when the contract is being first deployed on the blockchain. And constructor is not like any other functions that can be called multiple times. Constructor is only called once a contract is being deployed, like I said. So if you're coming from Solidity background, you already have knowledge about the constructor. For this contract, you're writing an increment contract. The first thing to do is declare our constructor function. So in Soroban, a constructor is being declared like this: so underscore and written as a constructor. What this means that this is a function that is going to be declared on deployment, right? And then the env, which is a constant, is always in here with an argument of the counter. So after this has been declared, the next thing is to set our count. So if you want to set something else, if for example you want to set an address or you want to set a string, whatever you want to set, you can set it here. But in my own case, since I'm working on an increment contract, I'm going to set the count in the storage using the env.storage as instance.set. So this actually automatically sets the storage. Let's work on a function, because like I said earlier, a constructor is a function that has been called once on deployment, where I mean that function can be called. So once we call the function of this constructor function, I will set our storage, set to storage our count. We want to work on that function so that we can use to get the count that was set. So this is our function, our getter function, to get what is being stored on the blockchain. So in here we can just say, okay, we are getting what is on the blockchain using the get.get env.storage.instance.get to get the counter that was stored. So we'll be able to retrieve the counter that was stored, returning a uint32 integer. So this is a simple way on how to declare a constructor. So this is our test. Now test function, the only thing we need to do is just to, when you're calling the contract, when you want to register the contract on the blockchain, as if you're working on just the test, you just have to pass in the arguments in here in a bracket. So you just have to pass the argument inside the bracket. If you have more than one argument, if you have maybe an address you're trying to pass in, you can put a reference to the address that's been declared, or you can put the reference to the string details that's been declared. So it's just this, it's not that hard, it's very simple. After you're done registering the contract, just have to call it and create a client for it, and then you can call the get function to get what has been already been set when the contract has been deployed on our local machine. So if I come to my console now and what I go test, and see, our test worked fine. So just have to know that when you're calling your contract that has a constructor, you pass in the arguments in the brackets, this bracket here, you pass it in here as an argument. So if for example you had a string or you had an address as stated before, you pass in as your constructor argument, you remember to always pass in that same thing in here as an argument. So that's how it works, and that's what it's about in constructor. So on deployment, what you just need to do is just come here and copy this. So I already copied it already, and then for easy access, because you come here and paste this here, and maybe you want to change this name, because you have to change the WASM code to match with the one you have already here. You get this your own WASM code from your target directory. Inside target directory, you come in here, you can see your own WASM code, making sure that this name is the same with the one in here, and your source account can be the one you have already set. If you don't know how to set your source account, you can check my videos I've made, and you can look at the setup and how you see how to check the source account. Or so for my own source account, I copied it and I pasted it here. For my own source account, I set the name to as pro, and then I'm deploying to the testnet. If you're deploying to the mainnet, you specify it there as a mainnet. And since we have a constructor, and if we don't have a constructor, you'll notice me pasting this thing in here now. You see the difference between this command and this command, the fact that there is an extra argument in here. This flag signifies that okay, we're going to pass in a constructor and pass in an extra argument. You get, so making sure that this flag is in here, and then the name of the argument you're passing in. Coming back to our contract, looking at the source contract, you see the name for our argument is called counter. So the name for argument, you write it there as well. Add a flag and then the name for argument and the number you want to pass in. I want to pass in number 42. If you want to pass in number 52 or 100, whatever it is on the pass in, that's what's going to be in there. So on doing that, the next you have to do, just come and copy the command and then paste it here. So it's done deploying. I can clearly see that it worked right successfully. It was successfully deployed our contract for us. So with this, I hope you're able to understand what a constructor is.